Hey, good morning, y'all. This is Connie from Home to Roost Creations. We're getting ready to move into our new location this weekend, and I'm working on a project. It's going to be a display cart. It was something that my husband found about a year ago, and he found it at one of the bargain locations for Goodwill, and it's a hospital cart and nobody knew what it was. Um, but luckily, he's got a good eye for picking. And this cart, I guess it held, medicines or different things like that. So it has shelving in it, but it's a iron frame with big wheels, and it rolls really well. And it's got a nice handlebar here on the side. So we thought, why not make it a demo cart? So this cart's going to actually stay up at the Painted Tree here in the Memphis market in our booth, but it's going to have a lot of different techniques on it, so you can kind of see how to blend some of the metallic. And today I'm working on the top because we were trying to decide if we wanted to put pallet wood on here. We went round and round for a couple days just trying to figure out what it is that we were going to do with it. And finally, we just decided the easiest thing to do was to decoupage the top, because the top is plastic. The body is plastic. So what we did was, before I even started painting it, I put slick stick on it everywhere, because slick stick goes on metal, which this has metal. It goes on plastic. And what it is, it's a bonder for your paint. So you put that product on first, and that helps the paint adhere to the product without flaking off later on. So I slick stick it. I've actually got some from the patina collection. I've got the copper paint on the trim of it, and then the rest is going to be kind of boho blend, and use a little some of the texturizing. And use some different colors and things like that. But this top was a real pickle because we weren't really sure what we wanted to do with it. We wanted to be creative, but we don't really have a whole lot of time for the work. So I went around looking at different paper that I had at the house, tissue paper, stock paper printed and all that. And then I finally decided that I have tons of this sitting around the house. Brown paper, wrapping paper. And this all comes in our Dixie Belle order a lot of times. So I've just crumbled it up, softened it up, made a lot of wrinkles in it. And for those of you that are a little bit older, you'll remember that we used to do this to walls to give it a faux leather look. That was back early 80s. That was a big thing. So I've decided to do that to this top. So we slick stick first. I'm using clear coat as my deck. I don't know, the light's kind of bright. Let me take it away there. You can see. It is clear coat. And this one's the satin. I didn't care if it was satin or flat. It didn't matter to me. But this I used instead of Mod Podge. It's easier for me to handle. My paper doesn't tear as much. When Mod Podge, I have a tendency to tear the paper. That's just me. And it's kind of a personal thing. If you love your Mod Podge, stay with your Mod Podge. But you can decoupage with clear coat. So this is what I'm using. The consistency, as you can see, is thick, but it's not that thick. It gives you an opportunity to move things around a little bit better. So I'm going to show you how easy it is to use this clear coat and apply it right onto the top of this table. And I'll talk to you about what more we're going to do with it. So I have a piece here that, let me move this a little bit. Okay. And let's hope my phone doesn't fall off. There we go. All right. As you can see, here is the top of the cabinet. Let me move this back a little bit. There we go. Okay, so you can see I've already applied some of the pieces here, and I just tear it, here and there. I don't I don't cut it. I don't want it to be a perfect shape. You can do that with some things. But I just, like I said, I take the paper, I crumbled it up, gave it all this wrinkly and textured look. And then I did pre-place pieces on here so I would have enough and I'd know exactly where I'm at. And I only do 1 or 2 pieces at a time. And I'll show you the technique of how to do it. I mean, this is real simple. You could use this on a kid's table. You could, you know, put this on an end table, anything like that that you want to add some texture and interest to. So what I do is I apply the top coat, clear coat right here. I put it right where I'm going to lay down my piece. I put 1 layer there. Then, and as that brush sheds, there we go. All right, so then what I do is I know this piece is going to lay on here. So I turn it over and I put a coat on the underside also. And don't worry if you're, oops, I almost dipped that in my coffee. That would have been something. If you're, you know, doing it on top of another piece that's already done, don't worry, it's not going to hurt it any. It won't stick if it's still wet. I just make sure I get it on all the edges and then I just peel it up. And you can see. So remember, I put some on the bottom, right on top of the cabinet, and I put some on the back side of this piece. And you have a little give here. And I just take my finger and rub it down a little bit. That way, I'm preventing as many air bubbles as possible to start with. And if you get a little bit on the edge, it's okay. Let it dry completely. It's gonna dry clear because it's a clear coat. Then you can take your X-Acto knife and trim it later when it's dry. I wouldn't do it when it's wet. It has a tendency to bunch up. But here you're just putting clear coat over top of what you just laid down. So remember, you put some on the base of the top of the table, some on the underside, and then you just brush it down. Now you can tell this has kind of a cloudy look to it right now, but it does dry clear. And that's one of the nice things about the clear coat. That way, when you're doing a piece of furniture or something like this, you can tell that you have covered all the space there because it gives you an opportunity to see exactly where you are. And you can see I've kind of overlapped in places, and that just gives it more interest. Now, I've had my Pampered Chef food scraper for a long time. I have found a new use for it because I don't cook that much anymore. I started using this on large transfers when they started to come out, and it doesn't tear your paper up in that. So what I do is I just work from the center out, and I just make sure that all the bubbles, as much as I can get out, are out. And I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I can hear, you can hear the bubbles popping, and that's what you want to hear. That way you know it's working, and it's just pushing out that excess air that's underneath there. I'm just making sure the edges are pushed down, and what you want to have is a wet paper towel, which I don't have, but you can see some of the excess there. You just wipe it off or take your brush and you can scrape it off and work it back down on top of your piece like that. Now the trick is not to overwork it. You do want to get the air bubbles out as best you can. But this kind of project, it doesn't have to be perfect. actually, the least imperfect it is, the more character it has. And I think the more you're gonna like it. I'm not into perfect pieces all the time. Sometimes, you know, it's happy accidents with different things. But with something like this, this is something that you want to have a lot of interest in, a lot of texture too. And it's not going to be a bumpy surface. It'll actually be smooth when you're done. Now, once this has dried and it looks like it's been completely tacked down by doing the Mod Podge, I am going to then take gator hide. Gator hide, here you go. Gator hide is Dixie Belle's water sealer. This is the toughest top coat they've got. I put this on dining room tables. You know, you use it in the kitchen for your cabinets, bathroom cabinets, you know, end tables, coffee tables, anywhere you know somebody's gonna put a drink down or there's water. So that will seal this top after I'm done, and it has a little bit of a satin finish to it also. And it doesn't come in any other type of finish. It's strictly a satin, but it's not a high gloss, so you're good with that. And it does come in 3 sizes. As you saw, this is the 32 ounce. It comes in a 16 and an 8 ounce. Usually, most of my customers, 8 ounce is good to go. This is mine because I use so much of it. I had to order some more. Same thing with the Slick Stick. It comes in the 3 sizes also. And the clear coats come in the 3 sizes. But as a rule, when you're working on a project, pretty much, unless you're doing a full bedroom suit or something like that, 8 ounce will usually get you going on that. But you can see the cloudiness is disappearing. The air bubbles are pretty much gone. And when I'm done with this, before I seal it, I may end up putting some other product on there, and I'll let you know as I go along. I just kind of look at a piece and then I start playing with it because it may have a little wax on it. I may highlight it with some gilding wax. I don't know. But it's that simple. And this, like I said, this dries quickly. This will be ready to go to the store by tomorrow. And it'll be good to go, and you can look at it like that up there. But that is my clear coat decoupage kind of project that I'm working on today. And there we go. So this is Connie from Home to Rose Creations. Remember, you can decoupage with clear coat. I'll talk to you later. Bye.